Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. We're going to continue that series on lung congestion today, but today we're going to be looking at another very interesting and powerful herb. It's a Chinese herb called Chinese skullcap. So first of all, Chinese skullcap is called Scutellaria bailensis. It's a perennial herb. It's indigenous to China, and it belongs to the Lamiaceae family, and it's widely used in traditional Chinese medicine. And the properties that are attributed to its benefits are the flower, the root, and the stem. We're going to review what is lung congestion. We're going to look at the molecular pathway systems of lung congestion. And really, there's about 5 molecular systems you're going to learn. And then we're going to look at how Chinese skullcap affects lung congestion. So that's what we're going to do. At a very high level, we'll get more into details. Here are your lungs, the left lung and the right lung. Here are sort of your normal air pathways. Here are congested pathways. So the top are normal, the bottom are congested. But anyway, what I want to now let you know is that the way we understand these pathways and how skullcap affects them is using a tool called Cytosolve. Cytosolve, you can go to cytosolve.com. And what we've done here with Cytosolve is that we're able to take all of this literature. So here we're looking at lung congestion and skullcap. We take all of that literature, we extract out the relevant papers, then we extract out the molecular pathways, the 5 that I just covered. And then we look at how skullcap affects those pathways, not only just sort of hand waving, but mathematically. Because Cytosolve lets us take this very medieval process of drug development where they can only handle a single compound, then they do stuff in a test tube, then they go kill a bunch of animals, then they do human testing. What Cytosolve does, we start way before this. We do modeling way ahead. The pharma companies spend more and more money on R&D, and they're finding less and less new drugs. So anyway, there's been about 1,757 research articles, 19 clinical trials, and over 84 years of research. So there's been a decent amount of work, and you can see over here on this graph that the studies over the last 10, 15 years have explosively grown in the amount of research that's been going on. I wanted to let you know that we use the technology here. We've helped many, many companies over the last 16 years, a lot of smart, innovative companies, but we decided with all the mathematical models we've created, why don't we try to use this to compute the best product we could think of from the science out there for reducing pain and inflammation, pain and discomfort. And that resulted in us creating MV25 using Cytosolve. We're going to have more products that are going to be coming, but let me just show you what MV25 is about for those of you who haven't heard about it. But this is using Cytosolve in a beneficial way, not to just do research, but find combination therapies.
Hi, I'm Barbara Ann. My hands would cramp up so that I couldn't hold cards or knit or crochet, and they would go like that. And I'd have to use this when I played cards with my grandkids. And I'd start taking that MV25. After a bit, I was able to hold cards in my hand. Very, very little cramping, hardly at all anymore. MV25.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I tore my ACL during Taekwondo. I had a lot of pain and limited mobility. I've been taking the MV25 for about 6 months now. After the first week, I noticed a big difference. After the second week, almost literally no pain.
My name is Jeremy, and I suffer from a lower back problem. Hurt my back at work years ago, and I can go to the chiropractor, do all kinds of different things, and nothing seems to help. And I decided to try MV25. I didn't notice a difference immediately, but within a few days, the pain went away, and it stayed away. I've continued to take it, and even when I do things that I shouldn't do, it seems to go away a lot quicker than it ever did before.
It's clean food certified. It's made in the US. If you go to BAShiva.com, right on the shop, you'll click there, or you can go right to mv25.life, either way. And then from there, you can click on the bottle and you can order. Please take advantage of it because first of all, it's going to help you. It's going to help our movement, and it really supports the fact that we want to take science-based approaches to natural products. So there are a total of 75 different chemical compounds that have been identified so far, and they go into 4 different types: flavonoids, terpenoids, polysaccharides, and essential oils. But here are the active components of Chinese skullcap. So what are the biological effects of Chinese skullcap? It's an anticonvulsant, right? And that's very, very important where you're trying to stop a cough or you're trying to stop something in your congestive issues that are going on. It's a neuroprotector. It's antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor, and hepatoprotective. So you can look at it, has these 7 different biological effects, but it also has some health benefits too. So here are the health benefits. Helps fight diarrhea, dysentery, hypertension, hemorrhaging, insomnia, respiratory infections, and allergies. So these are the broad health benefits of Chinese skullcap. Let's talk about lung congestion. These are the 5 biomolecular mechanisms. One of them is where your your body metabolizes arachidonic acid, and that results in inflammation we'll talk about. Then you have cytokine production via two pathways, MAPK or NF-kappa beta. The issue is how much do you have, because when you have too much of them, you create the cytokine storm. Then the fourth one is mucus production through mucin production. And then the last one is smooth muscle relaxation. So the first pathway, arachidonic acid metabolism, it gets metabolized and it produces through a series of pathways here and here prostaglandins, or PGH2. And these prostaglandins, eventually over here, it also produces PGE2. So when arachidonic acid gets metabolized, this is where you have the inflammatory process taking place, and a variable called PGE2 gets created, and you don't want that because you have high inflammation. Another mechanism is called cytokine production. Now the cytokine we're looking at here is IL-6. You can look at also TNF-alpha and COX-2. These are cytokines, but they're being produced through this pathway through what's called MAPK. Another pathway that's involved in lung congestion through NF-kappa beta here. This is the cell wall. This is the cytoplasm, and then NF-kappa beta crosses the nuclear membrane, and here you get IL-6, which is another inflammatory cytokine. And then you have mucin, mucus production, right? You can see right here, for example, how cigarette smoke through a series of pathways result in mucus here. And then you have smooth muscle relaxation, when your muscle can either relax or it can contract through MLCP. When MLCP is there, you get relaxation. When MLCP is blocked, you don't get relaxation. So MLCP is a very, very important chemical that supports relaxation. So the net of it is, if you want to reduce lung congestion, we want to reduce inflammation, which means reduce PGE2, which is produced during arachidonic acid metabolism. We want to reduce IL-1 and IL-8 from this cytokine. And we also want to reduce IL-6 and IL-8, again, two other cytokines. So these four cytokines we want to downregulate, and obviously want to bring down mucus production, but we want to increase MLCP, because when you increase this, guess what? You get smooth muscle relaxation, which helps alleviate lung congestion. Now, what happens with Chinese skullcap? So Cytosolve mapped out all of these molecular pathways, these five. We identified the particular biomarkers. These six we want to bring down, and MLCP want to increase. And you can see Chinese skullcap does that on the first five here. It doesn't do much on mucin 5, and it does increase MLCP. What does it do to PG2? We definitely find out that it brings down PGE2 values by almost 15%. You can see that, 10 to 15%. It's pretty good. So that lowers inflammation. The next thing is that skullcap also lowers IL-1, which is a inflammatory cytokine. Not that much, but it does work on it. And same with IL-8, it brings it down. Also with IL-6, it brings that down, and also with IL-8. It has no effects on mucin 5, but when it comes to MLCP, which is the important chemical that reduces contraction, which means increases smooth muscle relaxation, so this almost went up by 20%. That's why the smooth muscle relaxation pathway is so important. So there you go. Chinese skullcap has several benefits for lung health. It downregulates inflammatory cytokines, those four cytokines, thereby controlling inflammation in lung airways. But one of the most important things it does, it downregulates MLCP production, thereby promoting lung airway muscle relaxation. So that's really, really important to understand. So I hope that was valuable. And tomorrow we'll be doing another herb in the lung congestion series. Be well. Have a good night. And please email me if you have any questions, vashiva@vashiva.com. I do go through all your emails and I do respond to them as I can. Perhaps I don't get to them right away, but I do respond to them. Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. Before we continue with this, I want to just remind everyone that because of the massive censorship and shadow banning that still continues on social media platforms, I'd like you to click the link to continue watching this on our own platform at